it
Let's
comes
dive
to
into
seeing
why
clients in
therapists love
person
in person
versus
sessions and how they juggle
virtual.
flexible
Because like
schedules.
I think, and even clients, some of my clients have said it too, like they feel more comfortable, right, being able to actually talk to someone face to face versus staring at a screen because they also at work they're staring at screens. So it's like I don't really feel like this is really that different, or we can't go as deep because it's just virtual, right? We'll prefer in person.
And how do you do your scheduling, right? Because I'm guessing most people work
Mm.
a regular 9 to 5 job. They can't take an hour off per week to do therapy. So you like offer something like 5 p.m. but later weekends. How do you work that?
Well, that's like a personal choice. Um, so for me, prior to all this, yeah, I did work 9 to 5, right? But I kind of found that, and it took a little bit of finagling, that I work best starting from like 11. So I work from like 11 all the way up to like 6:30. So I'm someone I prefer later on, starting later on in the day versus starting early in the morning. So it depends. Some therapists are like 8 a.m. I'm ready to go, right? I have my first client 8 a.m. But then I'm done with the day at like say 2 or 3 p.m. I'm more of like a late riser, I think, whatever it is. So,
What if you have a client and they're like, man, they have like a mental breakdown or like something's really
mm,
go bad? Or they would like call you like, I won't say 24/7, but like,
yeah.
how does that work?
Yeah, I tell my clients like if it's a crisis, right, and you're not sure what to do, yeah, sure, we can talk about it. But most likely what will happen is, try to help folks kind of de-escalate, and calm down. And if it's getting worse, all I can do is just refer them to say, go to the nearest hospital, right? And they'll take care of you. Because in the hospital, they also typically have social workers who can help direct folks to say like, they need like a psychiatric mental health care, right? There are different clinics that are out there for specifically for
Mhm.
psychiatric mental health care. So they're able to kind of decipher, okay, is it a biological thing or physical thing, or is it like mental thing, right? And they can refer folks to the appropriate locations.
And like you charge by the hour, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you, I mean, don't tell the details, but how do you come up with your pricing model? What do you need to charge different prices? Saw it stuck or you wouldn't at what your peers charge or how that come about?
I mean, I think that depends. So when I first started off, I think I started off at like 120, just think of what it was, and then now I'm at 140. But how that is determined is that it depends on the individual, right? One, how many hours you want to work, um, how many days of vacation would you like, and how many clients would you like to see, right? All these different factors kind of then go into what your hourly rate will be. So I'm not gonna do the math, but if you want to make a certain amount of money per year, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Shout out to you. How many weeks you want to work for the year? Okay. How many weeks vacation would you like? How many clients would you like? Then that goes into determining perhaps the price that you like to charge per client.
Um, it's safe to presume you have to get some type of malpractice insurance
Mm-hmm.
just in case,
Mm-hmm.
something happens.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
all
that
of that.
is that pretty expensive?
Malpractice. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. But I think it's better to have your butt covered
Yeah.
than not when if something were to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Is is there? You find is how to put this? Do you have to do like therapy differently based on like gender, demographics, male, female, economic background, or is like you just get to the root of the problem and do therapy that way?
Um, it depends, right? One thing I like about me is that I'm open-minded. So I'm always trying to understand this individual and the why of them, right? And how can I communicate with them? If there's somebody whom they respond better to like say things that are more, like if I can explain to you like with the science behind something, right? Some of my clients are like, okay, explain to me what anxiety actually is, right? Biologically, what's going on for me, right? Some people are a lot more um cognitive focus, I guess you could say, or neurotic, whatever it may be. Um, they respond better to that, right? Whereas from other folks, it's like, if we can talk about, how they're feeling emotion wise, right? We can also explore that as well too. So one thing I've just find fascinating again is that like everybody's different and everybody's unique, right? And as a therapist, you get the privilege of being able to actually meet that unique individual, right? Like everybody is a story, everybody's a whole universe. And it's like I get to be curious about this universe and what it is that makes them tick, or what it is that they respond best to. And again, my duty to continue to learn, right? For how I can best serve folks when they come in and they're like, I don't know what's going on. It's like, well, let's talk about it. Because as we talk about it, you know, almost always we kind of like it reveals itself what is going on. It's like, oh, okay.
So speaking of learning, what do you have to do to keep update date with all the psychology trends, and you have to get
Yeah.
certifications every 6 months, or how does that work?
Yeah, no, we have continuing education units or credits that you have to take, right? So don't quote me on it. I do know that you have to take like a an ethics course every 2 weeks, as well as every 2 years, as well as a course on just like suicide prevention every 2 years, right? I believe you need about it's like 18 or 20 credits each year, to get your license renewed and stuff. So yeah, you kind of have to be on your P's and Q's when it comes to.
So why have your own company versus working for some big medical corporation doing this for a big company that does it?
I mean, you just said it. Why would I want to work for a big corporation?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. One thing I love and appreciate is the freedom that comes with being a therapist, right? Like I get to wake up, I get to set my own times. I get to make my hours basically. I get to decide how much I get paid, right? But the other side of that too is that everything else is on mine, right? Insurance, I have to figure out, medical, dental, that stuff to figure out. 401k every time I have to figure it out. And also my taxes are much higher. Um, kind of sucks. I didn't realize this, but yeah, working for yourself, pay like 30% of everything that you make goes to
Yeah.
goes to Uncle Sam. But when you're working with somebody, I don't think your taxes are even that high.
Yeah.
I think it's like half of that or something.
And are your clients, are they all like individual people, or you have like we'll say, making this up, ABC Tone Company that you do therapy for all the employees?
Yeah, so right now there seems to be like this shift kind of going on in the industry, right? Where we have these EAPs, right? What they call employee assistance programs.
And I
And
saw you did the thing with Boeing recently. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was a workshop that I did with them. But sure, even Boeing might have an EAP, right?
Yeah.
So what they do is they contract with other therapists, right, to be able to actually refer and send their employees to us. So, for example, I'm in a Spring Health EAP as well as like Lyra. Lyra works with like Google and stuff. Spring Health works with Microsoft. So I see Microsoft clients through Spring Health. Yeah, yeah, and then I see like some Google employees through like Lyra.
Okay. And can you practice anywhere in the United States? Or you have to be licensed in each state.
I no, I can only yes, you have to be licensed in each state. So right now, laugh I shouldn't. I'm licensed in Washington and Idaho, and I kind of giggle about the Idaho because it's like random. Like one day, I think I somebody had sent me that a link that hey, you can actually like register, to be a therapist in Idaho. I think it was like $25 or something, right? And often before you get credentialed in a different state, right, they have all these different paperwork stuff like that you have to turn in. But I just, sent them a copy of my license in Washington, and I think it was like, I think it was like $25, $50. They're like, all right, congratulations, here's your license for 2 years. I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah, if you know any people in Idaho, let them know.
And some guessing each state, I hate to say it's a money grab, like each state has like, you have to pay a certain amount of fee to get the certification, all that kind of stuff. And okay.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you have to pay, and
It's like being a lawyer, I guess.
yeah,
Kind of.
I don't know what the process is for a lawyer, but some states do have this thing called reciprocity.